Welcome to Pie Uncut, your daily dose of financial clarity and investing insight. Today, we're diving into one of the biggest money movements of our lifetime, the Great Wealth Transfer, a massive shift of $84 trillion from baby boomers to younger generations by 2045. It's not just a Wall Street story, it's a Main Street story, one that could reshape family finances, generational wealth, and how you plan your own future. Let's break it down. Segment 1, the Great Wealth Transfer. What's coming? Over the next 2 decades, baby boomers, the wealthiest generation in history, will pass on an estimated $84 trillion in assets. That includes homes, businesses, investments, and charitable donations. Much of that wealth will flow to millennials, Gen X, and Gen Z, with a significant portion also earmarked for charities and nonprofits. Financial planner Alonzo Munoz from Hamilton Capital Partners calls it the biggest wealth transfer ever discussed. And with that magnitude comes both opportunity and risk for families, investors, and financial institutions. For advisors, this is a once-in-a-generation opening to connect with younger clients. For families, it's a wake-up call, a reminder that legacy planning isn't just for the ultra-rich. Even modest households stand to benefit from having a clear, simple, and structured plan. Segment 2, why families avoid the conversation. Here's the reality. Talking about money, especially inheritance, can be deeply emotional. Parents often hesitate to share details about their wealth. Children, on the other hand, may not even know the family's true financial picture. Munoz says that hesitation is one of the biggest barriers to effective wealth transfer. Families delay, avoid, and postpone, and by the time they finally act, opportunities for tax planning or business succession may be lost. That's why the first step in planning for the Great Wealth Transfer is surprisingly simple. Start the conversation. Have a family meeting. Get everyone in the same room or on the same Zoom call and talk openly about goals, responsibilities, and values. It's not just about who gets what. It's about how wealth is handled, why it matters, and what values guide those decisions. Think of it as a family mission statement for the next generation. Segment 3, you don't need to be ultra wealthy to plan. Many people think estate planning is only for millionaires with family offices. That's simply not true. Even if you own a small business, a modest home, or have a retirement account, you need a plan. Without one, your loved ones could face unnecessary taxes, legal fees, or confusion. Munoz puts it plainly. You don't have to be uber wealthy to work on an estate plan. Just getting started can make a big difference. Start with the basics. A will that clearly states your wishes, a power of attorney to handle finances if you can't, a healthcare directive to guide medical decisions, and if you own a business, a succession plan for who takes over. The key isn't complexity, it's clarity. A simple plan beats a perfect plan that never gets done. Segment 4, how taxes fit into the picture. When it comes to passing on wealth, taxes can quietly erode everything you've built if you're not prepared. The good news, the current estate tax threshold in the U.S. is roughly $14 million per person, or $28 million for a married couple. That gives most families plenty of breathing room before the IRS gets involved. Still, there are strategies to minimize taxes and protect assets. Munoz highlights tools like revocable and irrevocable trusts, determine how flexible or permanent your plans are, gifting strategies where assets are transferred over time to reduce future estate value. Charitable giving can both reduce taxes and fulfill a deeper purpose. The takeaway is don't wait for the tax code to change. Plan early, stay informed, and work with professionals. Estate attorneys, financial advisors, and tax specialists to protect your legacy. Segment 5, charitable giving beyond the tax break. One of the more inspiring trends within the wealth transfer is the rise in charitable giving. Many boomers are using their wealth to create lasting impact, supporting churches, nonprofits, universities, or community projects. Munoz describes a barbell effect. Some families lean heavily into philanthropy, donating substantial portions of their estate. Others remain uncertain about how to structure those gifts, unsure whether to pass money directly to heirs or set up charitable trusts. Philanthropy, when planned well, offers a double benefit. You reduce taxes while strengthening your community, and perhaps more importantly, you model generosity for the next generation. If you're considering giving, think strategically. Set up a donor-advised fund for ongoing contributions. Consider charitable remainder trusts, which provide income for you during life and a gift to charity afterward. Or simply include a favorite organization in your will. Remember, every dollar you give intentionally becomes part of your family story. Segment 6, the rise of retail access to private markets. Let's pivot from estate planning to investing, because the next generation isn't just inheriting wealth, they're also redefining how it's invested. One of the biggest shifts underway is the democratization of private markets. Traditionally, investments in private equity, hedge funds, and private credit were limited to institutional investors or the ultra-wealthy. But that's changing fast. Munoz calls it a push toward democratization, meaning everyday investors may soon access opportunities that were once off limits. Platforms are emerging that allow partial access to private funds or alternative assets. Even some 401k plans are experimenting with limited exposure to these private investments. But here's the caution. Private investments come with unique risks. They're often illiquid, meaning your money can be locked up for years. They require careful due diligence and a long-term mindset. It's not the same as trading ETFs on your phone. For investors curious about diversifying beyond public markets, start small, learn the rules, and focus on transparency. Because access alone doesn't guarantee success. Understanding does. Segment 7. Lessons for the next generation. As trillions change hands, this wealth transfer could redefine financial literacy for younger generations. Here are 3 takeaways every millennial and Gen Z investor should remember. 1. Don't just inherit wealth, inherit wisdom. Ask questions about how the money was built and what principles guided it. Financial success without purpose often fades in one generation. 2. Build your own plan early. Even if you're not inheriting millions, get in the habit of planning. Emergency funds, retirement, insurance, and estate basics. And 3, diversify not just your portfolio, but your purpose. Invest in assets that align with your values, whether that's ESG funds, small businesses, or community projects. Generational wealth isn't just about passing down money, it's about passing down mindsets, systems, and values that make wealth sustainable. That's all for today's episode of Pie Uncut. If you found this useful, share it with someone who could benefit. A parent, a friend, or that relative who keeps saying, I'll get to my estate plan someday. Don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter for deeper investing insights and weekly breakdowns of financial trends shaping your future. Until next time, keep learning, keep planning, and keep your money working for you. Pie Uncut, money made simple.